Hey guys, good morning. It is Christmas Eve. Christmas is finally here, and we're wrapping up a kind of a crazy year. 2020 has been, well, to put it lightly, it's been a little nuts, and unfortunately, kind of continues to be. But it's been a wonderful Christmas season, and I want to talk a little bit about stock photography and kind of wrap up the year as far as that whole situation is concerned, because a lot of this channel talks about stock photography. So here we go. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is just a quick little update concerning stock photography. I don't know if you've been in the stock game for a while, you've kind of noticed that the trend is that sales are kind of dropping. At least for me, I used to make a lot more money with less photographs than I do today. I think that the industry has just changed. I think the quality of a cell phone these days, a lot of people are just taking their own little snapshots and not buying stock as much. I could be wrong about that. There's probably other factors, but that seems to be the trend. However, for me, the good news is this is the first year that I have made more in stock photography than I did the previous year. I made more this year by November than I had all of 2019, and I think at that point I was up about 18%. That's not even counting December sales, so that is a fantastic positive, I guess, as far as sales are concerned. I used to make more every single year than I did the previous year, but about 4 years ago, that trend started to stop. So I'm happy that we're making more money this year than we did last year. I think the biggest part of that is that I've spent a lot of time, those 5 months during the furlough, I spent a lot of time producing stock photography. So I guess my take on that is that if you put the time into it, you put the effort, you shoot the right kind of things, you can still continue to trend up as far as stock sales are concerned, but it is certainly not as easy as it used to be. One thing that has been very positive in the last probably 3 months is this image right here of Santa that I did quite a while ago. I sent in 3 photographs from 2 different shoots with this Santa, and one of them I put the mask on him, the surgical mask, and it has done really well. Almost 50 sales on iStock alone last month, viewed hundreds of times, and it really took off on Shutterstock. It took off on iStock. Some of the other agencies it sold but didn't go crazy, so I'm always confused by how that plays out. But this image has done really well over the last couple of months. I noticed it actually sold again today, so Christmas Eve, somewhere in Germany I believe, bought this image. The other thing I wanted to update you guys on was this was the year I bought the X100V. Main reason I bought this was to have a stock camera that I took everywhere I went, produced high quality stock images, and that has been very positive. I certainly have produced more stock images because I've got that with me at all times. And the stock game is not just about quality of images, it's certainly about quantity, unfortunately, but it has certainly helped me produce a great deal more as far as just quality images to send in. So that is a positive. So based on the number of images that I'm now creating with this camera, one of the drawbacks is the processing time that I now am spending, and not just processing, but keywording and then uploading, and so I've got to come up with a better system to deal with the larger volume of images. All of that is great. It's a good problem to have. But I want to talk about one little thing that says, I've touched on this before, and there's a lot to talk about with the royalty changes that Shutterstock is doing. But I've talked about the way they analyze our images when we send them in. And I'm convinced that they look at the metadata, that you do not have a physical person looking at our images right off the bat. And I've talked about that. And I kind of overcame that by not including the metadata in some of my photographs when I send it out. Knowing that it's a high ISO image, I'm convinced that they'll kick that out just because the ISO is high. They'll kick it out and say it's noisy without even looking at it. Well, I have to tell this little story because I find this quite interesting. Recently, I had 19 different images that I sent in to the agencies, and there's 5 agencies that I send to on a regular basis. I sent all 19 to all 5 agencies, and Shutterstock only took 3 of them. 3 out of 19 is a horrible, that's a horrible acceptance rate. A couple of times I got that the images were too similar. For instance, I think I sent in maybe 4 images of some images that I took in Ohio of a silver maple churning orange, and they took maybe one of them and said the other 3 are too similar. All right, I'm okay with that. Most of the other things said there was a technical issue. There were noisy or there was artifacting. And I'm okay with that as well if that's true that there's a technical issue. I don't want them just taking anything. I love the fact that they take quality images only. But of all the other 4 agencies, 19 images apiece, 19 times 4 is what, 76? 4 images were rejected out of 76. All the others were accepted. The 4 images that were not accepted was because the images were too similar to other ones they accepted. There was no problems with any of the technical issues. And iStock and Adobe, I would say, are usually pretty picky about quality issues. So again, I think I got hit with the metadata from Shutterstock analyzing the images before anybody even looked at it. Now, that's a difficult thing to overcome because I don't completely love erasing the metadata because there's just reasons why when you upload it, if you've put keywords in, if you put descriptions in, and all that type of stuff is included in the metadata, it makes it easier to upload. So how do you deal with that with Shutterstock? I'm not exactly sure. I'm just kind of running with it, and you know, it is what it is, I guess, and I hate to say it like that, but it is. Now, I say all that because the other thing is I almost always make more money on Shutterstock than any other agency consistently every month. Now, that's not been true the last couple of months. iStock has taken the lead in that, but probably 10 months out of the year, Shutterstock is the most downloads and the most money. So deal with that as you see fit. It's just one of those things that, you know, I think things are changing. They're going to do things a little bit differently. They want to pay us a little bit less money, but they still seem to be producing. So we'll see how the new year goes. But guys, just a quick little stock update for you. I plan to do another video this week while I'm off. I'm actually off the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to do another video for you, and I will see you in that one. But tomorrow's Christmas. Have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you as always for watching. If you can leave me a comment about any of this stuff, I love to hear from you guys, and I will see you very soon.